Mr. Wendy Hughes. Following ourselves from Spain. Bellies out. Behind the goes. Keith Swan. Into the first time league as well. Carl Stevens Victor. From Masterton. Ruben on the left and try to hit the top of the head. So does Daniel Briggs. Down there, stand number 5. Matthew Hunt. He's up the neck as well. Takes the 2 block. Back into the race of the year. Down there, stand number 6. Now the Spaniard comes up with it. Keith Swan up the neck as well. Around the back of the head they go. The looks like Ruben out the back. He wants the lead. Watching the way it goes. He swings and drops into the long way. Ruben out the back of the big man. From stand number 4. One set looks for his down on the ball. Looks for this to feel no. But he's finished the long low. He comes off. He comes off also from Matthew Hunt. Down there on 6. Down over the last front shot. Turning for home. Carl Stevens Victor. Turning for home. Keith Swan. Boy, Russell from Spain on stand number 1. Under the first front shoulder. Under the lead. And the last front shoulder. And the way down into the flank. What another 100-year-old is. We're looking at a man to step into the pin for sheet number 2. 1 minute 20 seconds for an intermediate year. What they Olympic use. Matthew Hunt joins it. 2 on the board. She touches 4. Standing 1, 2, 3, and 5 as well for Rico. Not much in it. Out of the ball for these fellas.
I tell you, Norm Young, Ruben Alabaster, 1 minute 25 seconds or whatever it was to shear that sheep. Incredible pace by the young junior shearer. And these other intermediate shearers, and these other intermediates aren't a whisker behind either. Undermined time for Keith Swan. Up in neck and breaks their neck well open, but it's still the young fella down there on stand 4. Young Ruben Alabaster. He's from a pretty good line of shearers, Woolhandling, and it is in the Alabaster blood. And he says, I'm going to be the top qualifier into this intermediate shearing final. Finished as a long blow. Oh, a bit of a nickler there, the young fella. He's got it under control. Round the shoulder goes Daniel Biggs. Down and into the long blow. Young Kyle Stevens Mata. Over the shoulder, takes the trimming on the top side of the leg, under that final leg, and down and out the flank he goes. Once again, this is semi-final time for the intermediate shearing. We have got 18 shearers, and once again, we are looking for the top 6. And I have to say, Norm, these young shearers are putting their name in the hat.
That's just a fraction over a minute a sheep. Not bad for intermediate grade shearers. Right out to the toe for Keith Swan. Another couple of shots for Kyle Stevens Mitta, and he's in and out of the pen with sheep number 4. 1 left in the pen for some of these guys now. Ruben Alabaster's in and out. Daniel Biggs not far away, just the last side to come off. He'll get the wool off the back leg, and he'll be in as well. The Spaniard on stand number 1 steps through and up the neck, so he's chasing Matthew Hunt hard. Opposite ends of the board, they're having a bit of a ding-dong, but Matthew Hunt got the measure of everyone at the moment as he lays into the long blow. Stand number 6 is where the pace is coming from. One more sheep left in the pen for Matthew Carey. Swinging up through the long blow, returning for home. The backside of this one, and another one in the pen.
Yeah, the stand number 6, he's in the lead at the moment. Down and over the shoulder he goes. This is an incredible pace set by these intermediate shearers. This is a thing of the future, ladies and gentlemen. These young shearers, we will see them go through the seniors, and then we will see them in the open to years to come. Young Mitchell Hunt down there, right out to the tips of the toes. He's into the pen for his 5th and final sheep, ladies and gentlemen. 5 minutes 48 gone. These young intermediate shearers, they are pumping. They are pumping. An incredible pace set here by these young junior, intermediate shearers. Sorry. Down and out the flank goes 2 and 3. Young Ruben Alabaster onto the board for his 5th and final sheep. He says, I want to be in there. I want to make that top spot. We are going from 18. We are going down to 6. And there will be some very, very good shearers miss out. But there will be 6 very, very good up-and-coming future shearers go through to the intermediate final. Up the neck he goes, young Ruben Alabaster. Works his way around the shoulder, takes the trimming on the backside of the leg. Young Daniel Biggs, 5th and final sheep on the board for him. Young Mitchell Hunt down there on stand number 6. Turns for home, under that final shoulder he'll go. Young Ruben Alabaster. He's coming hard, ladies and gentlemen. He says, I want the time points as well. Over that final shoulder, but it's going to be the young fella down there. Stand number 6, 5th and final sheep on the board for him. Down and out the flank, ladies and gentlemen. He will be the first one home. Put your hands together. Young Matthew Smith. Wow, Norm, what a final series this is. The pace is incredible.
Certainly is. So Ruben Alabaster gets to straighten his back as well on stand number 5. So does the Spaniard, Toyo Rosell. Matthew Hunt led from the front all the way. So well done you, young fella. Keith Swan finishing touches. Kyle Stevens, Mittart finishing touches. Daniel Biggs, last front shoulder. Just the last leg to come off for Kyle. Keith has hit his red button. His time clock has stopped. Well done, Keith. Kyle's done the same. Daniel Biggs is going to have the last say in heat number 1. Right out to the toe. Just a fraction over 8 minutes he's going to be for the 5 sheep. So still a pretty handy time for intermediate grade shearers. Rolls it out the hole. Well done, guys. Heat number 1. That was of the Trust House Intermediate. And we'll have heat 2 on the board, please, on stand number 6, Mark Ferguson. Stand 5, Corey Barracliff. Paola Moanaroa on stand 4. Madison Bright on 3. Mike Adeki on 2. Mitchell Menzies, stand number 1. Heat 3 in intermediate. Chris Dixon, John Sherrington, Tawetta Brown, Liam Pritchard, Braden Clifford, Callum Pritchard. You guys need to make your way to the foot of the stairs, please. Ready for your heat. You're up next, guys. And of course, our evergreen finalists. Some of them are judging, folks, so we need to get them ready as soon as possible for their final. Once again, a big thanks to Trust House for their support of the intermediate grade here this year. So the boys, quick look, get them out on the board, just waiting for the green light and waiting until our referee is happy, of course. Heat number 2, the Trust House Semi-final, intermediate grade. So we have a green light from upstairs, waiting for the nod from the referee, and we'll set these guys alight. So we have the, just while we're waiting for Philip, we have the top 6 in the junior. The top 6 are as followed. We watched the top 18 and the competitors that went through in the top 6 in qualifying order. Into the big junior shearing final, the Farmers Weekly Junior Final. Topia Barracliff, top qualifier. Brodie Hurrell, Katie Reid, Artify Hadfield, Levi King, Mark Gwynn. Congratulations to those 6 shearers. Well done. And we have the thumbs up. Let's get heat 2 on the road. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. And away we go. Mitchell Menzies on stand number 1 from down south, down Ranfurly way. Micah Dakey, our Australian shearer there on stand at number 2. Wide in the belly he goes. Madison Bright from Takapau. Paoro Mawanaroa from Ekatahuna. Corey Barracliff down there from Pew Pew. Mark Ferguson. Down on the 6th stand. Up the neck, into the base of the ear. Ekatahuna, I think he hails from this man down the far stand. Swinging around into the first front shoulder. He started off nicely, did Mark Ferguson. Lays it into the long blow. Way through the long blow he sweeps. Corey Barracliff not too far away. Turns for home, does Corey. Cheek comes off right there with Mark Ferguson. Paola Moanaroa still right there as well. Last front shoulder for Paola. Under the leg. Not much in it. Big Madison Bright under the front leg as well. Who's it going to be? Could be Moanaroa maybe. Oh no, Mark Ferguson slides into the pen for sheep number 2. In and out. In a minute 17. In goes Corey Barracliff. Now Paola Moanaroa. Madison Bright finishing touches, and the big fella's going to hop in for his second sheep. Micah Dakey, the Australian, finishing touches for him as well. Mitchell Menzies, beautiful job on stand number 1. Polishing it up, that's the way, Mitch. And into the pen, and out he steps with second sheep. Heat number 2 of the Trust House Intermediate Shearing Final. At Mark Ferguson from Elsthorpe down on the far stand. Leading the field this stage, Kerry, as he steps up and around towards that front shoulder. Just out to a reasonably handy lead by a couple of blows after a couple of sheep.
Yeah, he looks pretty good, shearer, that young fella down there on stand 6. And he's into the long blow. He'll finish the long blow on his second sheep and take the... under control again. Down and over the brisket he goes. I got this, mate. I got this. Don't worry. I've got it under control again. Big, strong use these are, ladies and gentlemen. Under the final shoulder. Down and out the flank we go. Intermediate shearing semi-final. Heat number 2 it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have got 18 very, very good shearers. We are looking for the top 6. The question is, who is that going to be? And young Mark Ferguson says, yes, boy, I want that top 6. I'm going to be top qualifier, he goes. And into the pen goes Corey Barracliff as well, and 3 and 4 in there as well. Nothing really separating these fellas at the moment. Mitchell Menzies, the young fella down on stand number 1. Little bit behind on time, ladies and gentlemen, but his points very, very good. Beautiful young shearer, the young fella from Ranfurly. Once again, these South Island boys have come up to the Golden Shears and says, I'm going to show you North Islanders how we shear sheep in Ranfurly, boy. And into the pen he goes, sheep number 3 on the board for these competitors. But it's still The boys on 5 and 6. Nothing really separating them. Barracliff in the lead at the moment, just by a whisker. Round the long blow he goes. Once again, one of these ewes, giving these young intermediate shearers a bit of jandle. Takes the cheek wool, down and over the brisket he goes. Once again, Norm, these sheep, big, strong ewes, and these young fellas are getting on top of them, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got to stay on top of them if they want to come out first, of course. They're pretty aggressive, pretty strong, beautiful condition. So they've got to stay right on top of them, especially that last side area right there where Corey Barracliff and Mark Ferguson are now. And Corey Barracliff slides into the pen right there with Paola Moanador. Out onto the board they come with sheep number 4. In goes Micah Dakey, the Australian, on stand number 2. So Micah just starting to open up those big shoulders of his and settle into a nice rhythm. Mark Ferguson in and out of the pen. He had the lead for a wee while, just dropped back off a couple of shots. Kick his sheep, that's what they'll do to you. Big Madison Bright steps in and out. Sheep number 4 coming out for Madison Bright on stand number 3. Finishing touches for Mitchell Menzies. Right out on the back leg, looking for the quality job is what Mitchell Menzies will be looking for. Of course, he'll be looking for that one to stop kicking as well. It doesn't help. But up the neck for Micah Dakey on stand number 2. But Paola Moanador, the man in front, on stand number 4 for Mekadahuna. 4th sheep on the board for Paola. And away up the long low he sweeps, right over the backbone. Another shot into the base of the ear, and he'll be heading for home. So the first one to turn onto the last cheek. Micah Dakey from Australia on stand number 2, chasing hard. Another shot from Micah, and he's turned onto the last cheek. Down over the front shoulder he rolls. But Paola's been there and done that. He's dropping down into the flank right now. Turning for home is Mark Ferguson. Turning for home also is Corey Barracliff. Micah Dakey down into the flank on the last side, just as Paola Moanador hits the cord, and he's in and out of the pen with his 5th and final sheep onto the board with the last one on stand number 4. Way down the belly he rolls. And goes the Aussie on stand number 2. Another couple of shots. Mark Ferguson will be joining him on the board with his last sheep. And he goes. Corey Barracliff there as well. Madison Bright not far away. Just nothing between Madison Bright and Corey Barracliff as they hop sheep 4 out the hole and in for their 5th and final sheep. Out on the board they come. But Paola Moanador got the lead at this stage. As long as their sheep sits there for them, these guys are not going to get back up with them around the first. Front shoulder for Paola. Swings around in towards the long blow area. Up comes Micah Dakey. Around the back of the head for Micah. Top knot comes off down there for Mark Ferguson. So up comes Corey Barracliff as well. Mitchell Menzies, 5 on the board. So that brings the whole field out with their last sheep. On stand number 1, Mitchell Menzies. Young fella from Ranfurly. Chases the competitions round. He's a keen young competitor. Belly's coming off for Mitch, and he'll be into that first hind leg. But Paola Moanador led the field in the last couple of sheep. Just got a wee bit of an ugly one, but it's not going to bother him now. Right out to the toe for the young man on stand number 4. Another couple of shots. Give him a hand, folks. Nice share. Looking for a spot in the final, of course. The top 6 go through. We say goodbye to the rest of them. Corey Barracliff hits the button. Time clock stop for Corey on stand 5. Madison Bright. Mark Ferguson. Madison Bright it's going to be over the tail if it'll let him. And he'll be reaching for the red button behind him. Time clock stop for Madison Bright. Well done, Madison. And Mark Ferguson. That last one disappears out the hole for Mark. Just the last front shoulder and last side to come off for Mitchell Menzies. He's going to have the last say in heat number 2 of the Trust House semi-final. Right out of the back leg for Mitch. Another couple of shots and he'll be looking behind him for the button as well. Rolls out the hole. Well done. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Heat number 2 of the Trust House intermediate grade. And we will get heat number 3 of the Trust House Intermediate up on the board, please. Stand 6 will be Callum Pritchard. Stand 5, Braden Clifford. Liam Pritchard on 4. Tawera Brown on 3. Big John Cherington on stand number 2. And on stand 1, Chris Dixon.
Just while we're sitting here waiting for the referee, if you are eating in the stadium, please find a rubbish bin for your empty bones and boxes. Don't just leave them on the floor. You wouldn't do that at your place, so don't do it here. Thank you.
Okay, John, sorry. So we have a green light and the thumbs up from the referee. Let's set these guys alight, ladies and gentlemen. Heat number 3, the Trust House Intermediate semi-final. Timekeepers ready. Competitors set, go. Away we go out on the board with sheep number 1. Chris Dixon from Ikitahuna, stand number 1, Cherington Oamaru. Tawera Brown, Martinborough, Liam Pritchard, Masterton, Braden Clifford, Gore, Callum Pritchard, Pongaroa. That's the lineup we have in front of us right now, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you here in the Golden Shears Stadium this year, 2019, for the 59th time. Next year, of course, very special occasion, the 60th anniversary of the Golden Shears. Make sure you don't miss that one, folks. But we'll get through this year first. Won't get too far ahead of ourselves. And we'll get through this heat. Heat number 3 it is of the intermediate semi-final, looking for the top 6 shearers that'll compete in the big intermediate final. And Liam Pritchard, he comes swinging out of the pen. So did Braden Clifford from Southland. Down over the last front shoulder. Turning for home was Chris Dixon on stand number 1. Big Tawera Brown swings around into the last front shoulder as well. Callum Pritchard turning for home. And in goes Liam on stand 4. First man in for sheep number 2. Closely followed by Braden Clifford, that young man from Waikaka down south. Out on the board for Chris Dixon on stand number 1. So right with the rest of the field is Chris. Liam Pritchard flicks the belly up behind him on stand number 4. Leading the field of the stage. In goes Callum Pritchard down there on stand number 6. Young man from Pongaroa. Finishing touches for the 2 big guys, Tawera Brown and John Cherington. And John, out the hole it goes. Tawera Brown does the same. In and out with sheep number 2. Minute 50 odd on the clock, minute 55. I'll need to be keeping one eye on that time clock. But of course, quality comes into it. And away around in towards the long blow for Braden Clifford and Liam Pritchard, but Liam Pritchard on stand number 4 swings into the base of the ear and turns for home. First man to turn onto the last cheek once again. Braden Clifford right there as well, looking for a spot in the top 6. Very, very important to these shearers. They've got to put their best foot forward right now. They're going to miss out in that final otherwise. A lot of pressure on these young guys. Of course, they've all played the game before, but not a lot prepares you for the pressure of the Golden Shears.
Sorry, Nom. Can Miti Nudor go to live stream, please, with Kuru Mullins? Sorry, Norm, where were we, my main man?
No, we're still up here. Trust House Intermediate, semi-final number 3. Callum Pritchard out on the board. Braden Clifford out on the board. So Callum Pritchard starting to wind them in down there on stand number 6. Finishing touches for the first 3 stands. 1, 2 and 3. Wham, bam. Thank you, Lamb, as they roll that one out the hole. Taweta Brown. In goes John Charrington. Chris Dixon is on the board with sheep number 3. Up the neck for our leader, still Liam Pritchard, but only by a shot or 2, Kerry. Pretty close still at the stage. Good semi-final heat.
Yeah, once again, the heat number 3 and all these shearers in this top 8. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they all deserve their top 6 spot. But I'm afraid to say we will be losing 12 of them. And it's no real fault to their own, but the standard of the intermediate shearing is so high, ladies and gentlemen. These shearers are outstanding in their class, and I don't doubt that we will see one of these or 2 of these junior intermediate shearers in the open finals on years to come. And down and out the flank goes Braden Clifford on 5, Liam Pritchard into the pen for his 4th sheep. Off comes the belly, down the first egg he will go. Down there on stand 6, Callum Pritchard, he said, not without me, you won't, boys, not without me. And let's have a look where the local boy is. Tawera Brown, down and out the flank he goes. Oh, he's Martinborough. Liam Pritchard, sorry, Masterton, my bad. But the big fella, Tawera Brown, down and out the flank he goes. Very, very good quality points by the big fella on 3. Into the pen he goes. Sheep number 4 on the board. Sheep on the number 4 on the board for Chris Dixon. Down the belly he goes. Off comes the belly. Hits that first leg like a ton of bricks, ladies and gentlemen. He wants to be in that top 6 along with the other 17 competitors. Undermine time for him, John Charrington. Beautiful shearer, this young fella. Sheep 4 on the board for him. Down the first egg he goes. Undermine time. Look at that, Norm. Inky Pinky. Beautiful shearing by the young fella on stand number 2.
Oh, no doubt about that. Good clean shearer. In and out for Callum Pritchard down there on stand number 6. Sheep number 4 on the board for Liam. Down the last front shoulder he paws on stand 4, but Braden Clifford right out to the toe and into the pen for his 5th and final sheep. Liam Pritchard finishing touches and he'll be in as well. 5th and final sheep about to come out for Liam, so led most of the way, but he's been overtaken now by Braden Clifford and Callum Pritchard. Callum Pritchard swinging into it. 5th and final sheep on the board for Callum. So he's leading the field and he's chucking the steel at him as he works his way around through the first front shoulder. Taweta Brown. Liam Pritchard back out onto the board with their 5th and final. John Charrington, another couple of shots and he'll be out there. Same with Chris Dixon on stand number 1. Out comes Chris. In goes John. Back out onto the board they come, so the whole field's got their final on the board. But Callum Pritchard, good strong finish from this young man. Held his own for a fair way through and then just put the hammer down over the last sheep. Give him a hand, folks. Time clock has stopped for Callum. Well done, old mate. He can stretch his back and watch the rest of the field come home. So good finish he got on the rest of the field over the last, over those last couple of sheep. Just put the hammer down, nose to the grindstone. Braden Clifford down over the last front shoulder. Liam Pritchard through the long blow and turning for home, but big Taweta Brown, last front shoulder for Taweta as well. Way down he paws, right out onto the back leg. Is he going to pull back? Braden Clifford, Taweta Brown, who's it going to be? Braden Clifford just as he hits the button. Now Taweta Brown. Liam Pritchard seconds from a finish right now. Big John Cherrington on stand number 2. Right out to the toe he rolls. So these guys come back well. Hits the red button. Time clock stopped on stand 2 for John. And Chris Dixon going to have the last say in the Trust House Intermediate semi-finals. And out it goes, folks. Give them a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, all our intermediate grade semi-finalists. Good luck, boys. Looking for the top 6 shearers.
Welcome back to the studio here, live streaming to the World Wide Web in the mighty Wairarapa. We're filming, ladies and gentlemen, out of the War Memorial Stadium here in Whakate Ore here in Wairarapa, and we're streaming the 2019 Golden Shears. We've just finished watching the intermediate boys, and we've brought a special guest into the studio, and we're going to do that prior to the Evergreens Shearing and Woolhandling, and last year it was called Veterans. So our special guest this afternoon is me. Mihi atu ki a koe e te rangatira, nau mai haramai ki te whare kuti kuti. Welcome to the Shearing Shed and me. This time last year you were aiming for your final, and I think you ended up with the 3rd prize in the Veterans event, yep. But you weren't there to collect it.
No.
And I tell you what, you brassed me off too.
I think I brassed everybody else off.
You brassed everybody else off, but we loved you that much that you came back and now you're here for the 2019. Look, I was down there with the medic guy, and I had my blood pressure done straight after you. What's the blood pressure like?
Bit high.
Bit high? Well, you go back and he was eyeing up our chocolates in here, and the bugger, we don't want him to eat our chocolates. You stick to your water and water crisp. So how's the year been? You've had your challenges, but my word, you're back and you look good.
I'm pretty good now. I go to the gym. I do a little gym work, CrossFit. I eat healthy. I do a lot of walking. And yeah, after what happened last year, I learned my lesson now.
Well, how old are you? 50? 60?
60.
Well, you are. Well, you should be taking things a little bit lighter than most people anyway when you get to 60 years of age. But hey, the shearing industry has been good to you, and you've been good to it. But yeah, last year you gave us a bit of a fright. You all gave us a hiccup. And the Still Shop was the major sponsor of the Veterans last year. And I see they've come back again and are supporting us. So any work in the future in the shearing sheds?
No, I don't think I've got to try and look for something else now, I think.
Okay.
My years in the shed's over.
All right. And the health, is it on track?
Yep, good.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, it's good to see you in here and looking well. Bloody heck, you're looking good. And you now eat well. You've given up all those bad things. Yep. So there is a message in this man sitting next door to us. And we send out our love to you and everybody that surrounded you. And love has worked in the long run, hasn't it? Is there anybody you would like to make a shout out for?
Oh, no, I just want to sort of encourage, after what happened to me last year, I just want to sort of encourage everyone in the shearing industry just to go and get checkups. Like, you mightn't think there's not anything wrong with you, but by the time something does happen to you, it might be too late. I was quite lucky that paramedics were on standby the night I collapsed after the final last year. So, yeah, I just encourage everyone in the shearing industry to go and get checkups.
I back up on that word, quite lucky. You weren't quite lucky. You were damn lucky. If this had happened out in the shearing sheds in the boondocks or wherever, you wouldn't be sitting beside me. We are most thankful to our paramedics. And, and like everything, St. John's, the rescue helicopters, if you see them coming with donations, give kindly and
Yep.
give freely of it, isn't it?
I'd just like to thank everyone that were there on the night, the paramedic guys. Yeah, if it wasn't for them, I must probably be upstairs now.
Well, that's better than being downstairs.
No, I just
Being
like...
in love with the... and they still call you a bunga and things like that. Oh, that's all right then.
Mavis is the only one that calls me that. But no, they done a wonderful job on me, apparently. I just can't remember nothing that night. I sort of remember being in ICU in Wellington, and
Yep.
but it just took a long time for me to remember where I was, one part.
Well, you're back on all cylinders. So there you are, folks. This time, or the Saturday last year, we were speaking about our concern for Mihi Nurua, and I thought we had to bring him back because to make sure that folks out on the other side of the world knew that he was coming back. So he's here in the flesh, and now we thank him very much. And korua ko Oti. Oti Mason has been a real close ally with me, and we now cross back to the stadium. Me, thank you very much for coming up and spending some time here. So Toby, we go back to you and in the stadium.
Now, there's some of the evergreens and judges. So once they're finished, they're going to get changed back to the judging gear and get up to the open. So once you've done,
Other sponsors in this event are Still Shop Masterton in the Evergreen Shearing and Woolhandling final. So big time to be thinking about Still Shop with, of course,